people that were not on the previous Bonanzas, but also your familiar faces. So welcome Taki Sol, George Kuru, Baba, Untied Bear, Annie, Legend, and Dean Machine. Today we're going to be looking at basket.finance. It's a diversified way. It's your diversified exposure to the more degen side of the market, more DeFi, cross-chain. It has more things than the other asset management platforms we've seen, but you get less freedom as a user. Uh, it's a very interesting approach. It's a very forward-thinking approach. It's a way for anybody, a no coiner, to get access to top performing crypto assets, and the whole portfolio is managed, at least the team claims that is managed by classic traditional finance methods, and you also get their sophisticated approach from their crypto experience and cross-chain adventures. So I'm very excited to see what they are doing. There are a few things that on first glance we were all a little bit estranged. I think the reviewers in the panel are going to talk about it. Let's quickly go through the first landing page, so you get a very good idea of what this uh, platform is doing. This is more of a token than a platform, at least in my eyes. This is the team here is explaining what the token includes. So the moment you buy the token, what is that you gain exposure to? So quick explanation of what it does. It says that it's really hard to follow the crypto market and know exactly which tokens you should buy, especially when it comes to cross-chain, and adding lots of different ecosystem to your watch list can be very tough. They provide you with a link here on the bridge and the white paper, and then they list their liquidity pools. Liquidity pools, what do they mean? I don't think this is very an introductory step to DeFi. So I find this a little bit hard to understand. I assume this is the liquidity across different chains of the coin. So basket USDC in Solana, basket BSC on Binance chain, so in PancakeSwap, and of course, since all these are connected to AMMs and to AMM aggregators, you'll be able to easily swap the token between the native tokens of each blockchain. We also noticed a link to the bridge. You get a little Jupiter icon on the bottom right. Then you have some highlights, lots of words here. Fractured liquidity talks about liquidity across different chains. Early stage deal flow, saying that they have a streamlined path to high quality deal flow. So you get early stage cuts on various projects. Diversification, and they are monitoring investment sentiment, a bunch more metrics to diversify the portfolio. And the narrative pivot, uh, which is like, this is pretty new for the cryptocurrency market. All these asset management tools are pretty new. A bunch of partner buttons. We recognize some. Matrika, we know this is a gating tool, while CoinGecko is a page to monitor prices and general market sentiment. So very diverse partnerships. Not, I don't really understand what exactly they mean by partnerships. And then you have an FAQ, which I think is the most important part uh, of this website. Lots of questions, a small Twitter feed, some links, and on the top we get a quick menu where it takes you to various points in the platform. So you get the FAQ, it just moves you down. So that's the quick overview of the first page. I'm pretty sure you all have feedback for it. I don't think it's great. I think it's a little bit confusing and it doesn't explain well what the token does. Let's start from Taki Sol, and let's get the mic going around so everybody can give their perspective on the DAP. Taki Sol, it's all you.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, you basically said most of the points on the relatively simple website that we see for BasketFi. Um, I'm going to stay on the main page as we're still in that part of checking out things. From my comments, checking the sidebar. It's mostly like an index for the page, like a table of contents. We can see, the reasons of why you should buy BasketFi, and then it takes you to the parts of the page. Relatively straightforward. In terms of the liquidity pools, I've noticed that some of them lead to the corresponding liquidity pool for BasketFi. Others don't. Not the
Did
specific
we
page
lose
for the
Taki
pool
Sol?
that you can see for BasketFi. Then we move on to the highlights where you went through them already, and the partners. For the partners, yeah, it's a bit unclear how they are partnering with some of them. We can assume what's happening with Matrika, for example, Bird Eye, for instance. Squads that links the partner link to the website for Squads. CoinGecko, the main website for CoinGecko. I guess that was meant to be the BasketFi listed section for on CoinGecko. For me, it's interesting the debunk link that where if you click it, I'm not sure what we're watching here. So I would also like to ask, the panel as well, what do you guys think we're seeing here? What's that address that we're seeing here? Because I think that's not the contract address for BasketFi, or it could be, at least not the Solana one. The Solana one starts with 6GN, and that one in debunk starts with something else. So any thoughts about that? Because I can't figure out what that is.
I think that it's tracking the different size of TVLs basket token has across different blockchains. Like this is by looking at it as the first interaction. This is what I understand.
Yeah, this looks to be an aggregator of L2s, of Ethereum L2s, and other compatible chains.
I think
Uh,
I think the link is a referral link. I think many of those links, if they have anything more, it's because it's a referral link. So if you go down to like D-Bridge or to Bonk, all of those links have a referral. So I would think that that's purely what that's meant to be.
Baba, any comments on the main page before we continue
Yep,
to the
I guess.
next reviewer?
So just what Tag said with the sidebar, I think it's a main part as it navigates the whole web page. So it has many sections which are headings essentially for the components in the web page, but it also has uh, parts such as the bridge, the index platform, I assume the referral codes, and their staking website or web page, which are external redirects. And I think by adding everything to that sidebar, it might get a bit confusing. So as a solution, maybe have that sidebar if you're to keep it for, to act as a table of contents for that, main page. And on the top bar, close to, where the socials are, maybe, move them around and also add there to the side their staking, their index platform, the bridge functionality there, so that it's a bit more clear and a bit more structured. And another, I think, main point that we should have is, there has to definitely be information other than this high overview that's being given on the page about the components, of the what essentially the asset management team has, and essentially what you're investing in by purchasing the basket token. And this is, I think, is critical information. From what we discussed earlier, and off call, that you can find this information either in their Twitter, in their Telegram, but it's a bit spaced out, and having that centrally somewhere, and possibly even I don't know how many details the team would like to give, but the more analytical it can be for someone looking to invest in this coin, the better. And just a final comment that maybe, since they use their Twitter account regularly and provide a lot of updates from there, they have a feed towards the bottom of the page, and it's just kind of like forced in this web page, next to some of the links, just kind of pasted. So maybe if that could be included, have a whole section of it higher up in the page, and it can be a first point of contact for potential new users. I think that's important to see that there's an active Twitter page and probably the top news posted by the team.
Untied Bear, any remarks?
Yeah, without the repetition, as a user, when I land on the page, I want to see two things. One is what Baba said, is the information, what am I buying? And second one is just to, directly able to buy it. There is a small button for Jupiter at the right corner, bottom corner, which you can swap some tokens, connect your wallet, but that would be one of the main elements on the page, like directly integrated directed to be able to buy the basket they are selling. So those things would be, and there's one small thing is there are some of the links, I think, I'm not sure if it's mentioned, some of the links are leaving the page, like the partner links. I think it's not really good to have it like this, because you don't want your users to leave the platform. Those are my points on the homepage.
Great points. Spot on the link. Some are opening in new tabs, and some are just taking you to a different website, losing the bskt.fi site in the background. Annie, any comments?
Yeah, hello from me as well. I would like to elaborate more on what the two guys before me said about wanting to see more what the basket consists of. And this is because of 2 points. Basically, it's the main differentiator. Why should I buy the token? It's because I can get transparency and because I can see what I'm buying into. And then if I read on the white paper, it says that the baskets will be split into follow-up, like further smaller baskets. So I would definitely like to see something like how many baskets are there and what assets are there in every basket. My second comment, without repeating what the other guy said, is that if I read through the landing page, I can only stake on Meteora. So this should be somewhere visible. Because at the moment I see it as every other liquidity pool, but if I go and read the FAQs, then I can read that staking only works there. I would definitely like to see the whole website give me more trust in me putting my money there, especially if it applies to non-coiners or people who are new. So it would definitely help if I could see like the numbers, how many people are in there, total staked or total stakes. These are actual information that are visible on other platforms like their Twitter account. So closing my remarks, if I go down and see the Twitter link that they have, the live feed, like the first one is from July 4th. The second one, if you scroll down a bit, is from February 29th. Or at least on my side, this is what I see. I don't know why. Sorry, probably it's what I see. So apparently there are different views, but maybe there could be a better bridge between X and the website as previously proposed, in order to give more trust, give more transparency, and keep at least something up to date.
True. We're seeing different things, and a lot of important information in the tiny Twitter feed, which is missing from the Wayne website. Mr. Legend, your remarks on the landing page.
GM, so I will not repeat what everybody also gave feedback, which is also similar to mine. So I will say something new maybe. So on the highlights, basket, they say out is a type of features and the values. What I wrote here as a feedback is an improvements, suggestions. So what they can do on the highlights is probably add some Twitter testimonials, some kind of ambassadors or people testimonials. So maybe threads they can display it. Maybe something like that. I wrote on the my feedback Notion. So not sure if you can stream that real quick or just. But yeah, so aside from the highlights they provide, they should also add some Twitter testimonials. So they just put a screenshot of each Twitter handle and showcase what's the pros and cons that people found using the platform. So yeah, that one. So that's some kind of suggestion, the UI thing for improvement. So, and another feedback I can say, if you go down to the FAQ. So on the FAQ, on the how does Basket secure the treasury, they mentioned this, which is the Basket assets under management can be tracked on the index platform link at the top and bottom of the site. So they mentioned this, the site is not available and it's on the FAQ. I think what they can also showcase is there's no wallets the users can track. So the basket has maybe this type of assets and there's no wallets the users can track to see what assets the wallet is holding. They also mention what is it? So to further safeguard the assets, basket diverses across a variety of liquidity pools on different centralized exchanges, utilizing a combination of hot and cold wallets. So they mention these wallets, but they don't provide the wallet addresses. So that's something also for transparency they could provide. And I think that's everything I can say on the main page at least.
Sound feedback, because they insist on the word transparency. I don't see much transparency, at least on the information listed on the website. The machine. What's your view of the DApp we're looking at?
Yeah, I think everybody's hit the nail on the head that the biggest problem is you have no idea what's in the index. Maybe back in January, this wouldn't have been such a big issue. Now with competitors like Symmetry, where you can make your own basket and you can see what's in it and you can see a lot more in depth, it becomes a harder value prop, especially when you can't see it. I can imagine that they're building something that's a lot more complicated than just, hey, here's where we're holding everything. And I think that from a business decision point of view, give us an address to see what's being held. I think that that's like low hanging fruit on giving confidence. On the main page, you can put statistics around what that basket has done or is doing. You can show if the portfolio is up or down. You can show how many times it's been rebalanced. You can show how many unique assets are in it, how many times you've removed assets, how many trades have happened, like volume, all of these kind of things put a lot of confidence and they should be on the main page. As far as the socials, I was very surprised to not see a Medium or a blog. I think that that's the easiest place where you could show a history of what's been happening, right? You could say, hey, last month we add these assets, we removed these assets, we did these many trades, we made these decisions. So I echo what everybody's shared so far. Really focusing on giving a bit more information, and there's so many choices there, right? You can go all the way to saying, "Here's the address. You can see what we have." If you don't have confidence to do that, you could just say, "This is what the portfolio is worth today. This is how many assets we have." You don't have to say the specific ones if you don't want to. This is how many trades, volume. So there's a wide range of choices on giving more transparency.
Totally agree that this is the most off-putting part of the website. The value prop sounds amazing, but yeah, us not having that info is really off-putting. Kuru.
I just wanted to touch on the decision-making aspect of all of this. Like, since there is no community governance over bskt.fi, I would like to know who is calling the shots. There is on the FAQ like uh, a small sector where it says that experienced traders are behind bskt.fi, but when I'm trusting someone with my money, I would like to know who these people are. Like, this also is a part of transparency that is promised but is not there. So that's one thing I would like to see.
I totally agree. And overall, I see we're all agreeing that it's a great idea. The way they did the airdrop, most of us got a little bit of airdrop. We interacted with it. There is so much information missing from January that it's not welcoming to new investors. A couple of things that I think are missing from the main menu. First of all, claim basket. Why is this not anywhere, and why is the link broken? Claim basket. Claim ended. I see. That's why. So I think a blog post about that, about the how many people were included in the airdrop, some statistics, a little bit of something, would be very interesting. Another thing is that we can see that there is staking.basket.fi. We can see it on the bottom right from their Twitter, but on the menu here there is no staking. So the only way to actually find this staking button is to follow their Twitter. Shame. I think it's an important part of the value prop of the coin, and not having this token, this link on the main menu is you're just missing out. Lots of people are missing it out, and it's not something new. I see it's live from the 4th of July, so it's about 6 days now. They should have put it already there. From a quick visit to the links, going to the bank, I looked a little bit on the portfolios that are there, and I can see that although the project is claiming to have all close to 100,000 TVL in their wallet of their BNB wallet, most of it is basket token. So I see that 66,000 out of the 97,000 is basket. That's again a little bit confusing. I wouldn't like to be able to see this with like I don't like the fact that I need to dig, and I find these kind of answers. I would rather prefer to have it in front of my face, and my criticism would be less harsh. The fact that I have to look in it and then I see that out of the 97 claim, 66 is basket token, I don't like. Let's visit a little bit the rest, the other links that they provide. I think we should start by staking. So the only way to reach this is clicking on the link. I will select a wallet. I'll do Phantom. I will connect. So you get the classic pop out, you connect, and now it connected. We lost the screen. Here we go. So I don't have any basket here. I should have a little bit of basket. If not, let's buy a little bit of basket.
Scroll down. You should see what you've staked, which I think is a mistake on their part.
No, it's on a different wallet because I got it from. I'll buy $10 and stake it.
Oh, you didn't stake everything?
No, it's in a different wallet. So I'm just purchasing $10 worth of basket, and I'm gonna go back to the staking website. And I'm going to stake for a month. So there's no maximum. There's no max. Yeah, I already have the basket. I can see it on Jupiter. Let's refresh just in case. Here you go. I got 1 million tokens. So I'll do it for a month, and I can't select it. And we have that. So before me continuing with any comments, let's start the other way. Let's start from Kuru, and then we're going to go to Dean, Legend, Annie, Untied, Baba, and Takisol. So Kuru, what do you think is happening here?
I think that you should just be able to click on your balance and it automatically appears on. You should, just be able to stake it by clicking. You shouldn't be needed to type it manually. So this is my first comment. I think that the link for staking should be on the main page, which I didn't find it on the main page. We found it from the social media, and yeah, that's pretty much from me.
Dean, any comments on what's happening here?
Yeah, so I don't know if this. I think that this contract is the Armada contract for staking rewards. It's very similar to the way Bonk one operates. The fact that they have the staking amount at the bottom of the page is not great. When I first went here and staked, I was like, okay, where's my stuff? And then I had to scroll down to see that, oh, I've got it here. So once you stake, you'll notice it. It's active locked on the bottom. I agree. Obviously, you should be able to click balance or max or something to make it easier. That way you don't have to manually input it. They also talk about you're receiving a percentage from the basket rewards pool. How's the basket rewards pool doing? How much is in it? What's the performance of it over time? These are supposed to be fees from basket. So that transparency is great. That way it incentivizes people to want to buy, want to stake. And I would love some governance somehow sprinkled into all of this, of course, but maybe that's another part of a discussion.
Legend, any comments?
Yeah, like as you said before, maybe 25%, 50%, 75, and a max button under the deposit should be very welcome, because I'm not gonna type 1 trillion and 500 something. And there is a bug report I want to mention, is that when I tried to stake, I had 10 million and then a comma and 400. So I got the error staking failed because I had a comma. So I was only able to stake the decimals. So not the decimals, the how do you say the normal numbers? I forgot the name. So the decimals were not the decimals before, later of the comma, I was not able to stake. I also provided the image, an example in the docs I shared later. And when you stake, you get the confirmation on top, and then you get the successful. The thing you don't get is the transaction ID. So you don't get a transaction confirmation. So in case you have if you want to file taxes, you want to file a support ticket, you don't have the transaction ID with you. So you got to go on the Block Explorer and find it yourself. That's something useful also to have. And as Dean mentioned, for the share of the pool, there should be an APY somewhere saying how much you're gonna receive on 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, go on. And yeah, that's it.
Totally agree with all the points. The idea of the APY is very, very important. Annie.
Hello, hello. I would like couple of things to see. Well, first, I would like to see a connection back to the main site. My main concern starts from, I want to trust them. I want to feel secure. I want to feel that there is no risk for me when I put my money there. So to do that, I would like to see following changes. Like I would like to see a connection with the main site where it explains all about Basket. Second thing is the language is kind of not very, making me feel that this is something that I could put my faith, my money, my trust in. So stake your basket tokens to earn rewards. I would definitely want to rephrase it, and I would definitely want to see what are the rewards. If I don't stake any amount, then the claim rewards button is not available. So I just see claimable rewards. So what is this? It kind of feels, it could even feel like this language used in these emails used for, getting people to spend money. So I would definitely want to see language that is more trustworthy. And I would also like them to elaborate more on the rewards, exactly as Dean said. So what happens in particular, if something goes wrong with Basket, what will happen with my rewards? Will I still be getting my rewards? I would like to know that. These are my points.
Great points. I see that the theme here is that we just don't have enough information, and the team is using the word transparency a lot, and there is not much transparency. Baba.
So I just have one point I think which is important. Ideally you want the users to be staying right on your platform and not being redirected to elsewhere. There's a risk of them losing interest or finding something else more interesting. So as Anti-Bear said before, of probably having a component where you can swap, not the Jupyter plugin, where you can swap in the main page for the basket token. Maybe move that Jupyter extension to this page, so that in the occasion that you don't have any basket token, it's already preset basket to USDC or Sol or whatever, and you can instantly buy that token and stake it. I think that mainly, and of course, statistics are always nice, and if maybe there's an indicator to make them a bit more dynamic in some way, that could further incentivize a user to stake their tokens.
Great points. Yeah, I'll when my turn comes, I'll point out some missing information as well. Untied Bear.
Yeah, as Dean earlier already told about the similarities to bonk rewards. I think we can compare those two, which is almost the same information, but on Bonk Rewards part is it's all in one page. And here's only there's some extra repetition about the claiming. So if the claiming part at the bottom moved higher or all the elements adjusted a bit, because I like this version of how it works better in steps instead of all of text. So it all can be actually set in one page with all the information you need and claim only once, one time. And let me check the staking. This is 1 point. Yeah. This is my point for now. I forgot them.
Thank you, Sol. Before we close this page.
Yeah, so I've been taking some notes on some things I want. First of all, I also staked some basket, and yeah, it's been already mentioned about it. It would be nice, the max supply and all that. I did notice that there is some relatively BTC value in Sol. Actually, it was 0.70 to stake. That's not like super insignificant. It's almost $1 worth of fees, cost, or whatever if you want to stake something. Then in the statistics we see the 3.22 average weight, which I'm not sure why we would want to see that. One more thing about the staking UX is that when you enter the amount that you want to stake and the duration and all that, you don't see the stake button change. You see it in some kind of faded colors unless you hover over with your cursor. That's the contrary indicator where in the UX when a button is active for you to press, it doesn't seem that it is active unless you hover over. That's a bit confusing in my opinion. And one last thing that I might need you guys help on is that we see the how it works section with the three parts, and we see that the T is the multiplier for the percentage of basket rewards. So for 1 month, it's 1x, and this means that the percentage, moving to part 3 in the basket claim lock period, this means that the percentage from basket rewards times 1 is the claimable basket that you're going to get. But what's the percentage of basket I'm getting if I stake for 1 month? Which, by the way, I think the 1x is like, it should have been a little bit more generous, but that might be just an opinion of mine. I'm just not understanding what's the percentage times the multiplier that I will be getting. That's a little bit
I guess you get
unclear
zero
the way I
rewards
understand
if
it.
you. Yeah, I think you get zero
Exactly.
rewards if you.
That's what that's what I'm assuming, and it doesn't seem like it's very, very straightforward. So it goes through a lot of hoops just to not tell you that you're not getting any rewards for logging minimum 1 month. Ergo, why have the 1 month option as a duration if you're not getting any rewards? It's like something to trick you. I would tend to think. Yeah, that's.
Before we close, I just wanted to suggest they should change all these things to percentages. Just give us all the information we want, like the amount of wallet staking versus total wallets. Again, the percentage would allow me to understand how many holders there are and how many stakers. The percentage of coins staked, that again would give me an understanding of the total amount of tokens in circulation versus the locked ones. And yeah, as you mentioned, this average weight doesn't tell me much. I also would want to have an option to lock the coins for even longer. 12 months, yeah, it's a very long time for the crypto world, uh, but for traditional finance and this kind of in between line that this team is walking is very little. Like 1 year lock is it's very low in the real world. So most time deposits are 2 years and above, so it would be more familiar to the traditional finance investor, having even longer lockups. I would also like to see a little bit of an example of the fees. I understand there are rewards. I understand you get extra claim. As I would I imagine that the rewards you get are locked basket. I would like also to know how much are the fees and how are they allocated to the basket stakers, and if I have any kind of advantage staking it on receiving those fees. That's mostly it. I would also like to see where is this staked. I would like to see some information on the contract they're using. And if it's a third-party platform, I would like a link to be able to see the pool on chain. I want to see it on chain. I'm pretty sure you can see it if you follow the SolScan path, but it's a low-hanging fruit. Just add it to the website to improve transparency that this is a programmatic lock, that this is not locked in some SQL database in some of your personal computers. So yes, some more information and just change the digits to percentages. And as Ani very, very well said, give us a link to the main website. I mean, what are we doing here? Back to the main page. We can take a quick look on the bridge. Sorry, Takisol, go ahead.
Sorry, I thought you were pausing. I wanted to fill the airtime. A couple of minutes ago, I managed to dig through and find the basket composition, which has been a major question for all of us, even before the live. So I can DM it to Whale so you can see, so you can show it. Actually, it's on our channel on Discord for the feedback session. You can take it from there. You can share it. So from what I found, that composition is the only thing you get, and that's the most recent one, and that has been provided in the Telegram group of the BasketFi community. Find that anywhere. I didn't dig too deep, to be honest, because we're doing the live show here. But there seems to be a bot that posts some kind of information about BasketFi. But it's a bit ridiculous to have it accessible only by a very, 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 very dark, deep location, like in the Telegram group, and that's back from late May. That was the last time the basket composition was shared. If you go to the group, if you join it from the links on the Discord, you're going to see that it has been shared a couple of times. But again, it's the exact opposite of straightforward, the exact opposite of transparent, and it's very confusing, to be able to navigate through, even as a user that really, really wants to find out what's happening with the basket, what's happening in general.
Great find, Takisol. And the assets in the basket, I would never have it. I would have never expected such weights with Chonky and Mutai having way larger percentages than ETH or BNB. BNB has 1.9. Interesting. That would have changed our feedback so much if we had access to this image from the get-go. Very interesting. Shall we go take a quick look on the bridge? There's not much to say. It's a widget. It's something that is built by other teams, from what I understand, and then it's just linked to the BasketFi website. I also don't like. How do you choose? Why would I choose wormhole? Why do I choose the bridge? There is not much explanation. Is there anything you want to add, lovely friends, on this? There's not much to say, I think, but if there is, please go ahead.
There's just one thing about the API I would like to say. I think the basket pool for as expectation is not possible to know upfront. That's why they cannot share that. But I think the historical data API should be shown to understand what to expect.
I think one thing I can add here now that everybody knows what the basket is made of, at least from May, is what Dean mentioned before. I think was maybe create a DAO and then use the basket as a governance token, and then you can change the weights as the community wants, so everybody can, if they dislike, MDE or Rand or Bonk being at such high weights, maybe create a proposal and lower them using a basket as a governance token for it. That's the only way I see like basket as a whole, which I see it as a community type of project where it's just one basket and everybody manages as they wish.
Yeah, and the advantage they have over Symmetry is that they are multi-chain. Like that, you lean into that, right? Hey, you've got a multi-chain asset basket, asset manager.
On a quick look at the basket bridge, at least the widgets they provide, they need more documentation. No sane person would just go here and use the wormhole widget without really understanding, without really having some documentation. I see that there is an asset called Basket on Solana, which is going to be transferred to the Sui network, and it's still a Solana asset. How does that work? Like, can I send? I have a basket balance. Why doesn't it show it? Doesn't seem to be working. And I've connected both my wallets. Will it work? Of course not. Two transactions. There is just one asset on Sui. I don't think it's working. So yeah, they should fix this. Or at least provide some guide on what to do. Has anybody tried to work to use this?
It is actually a widget, so you can debridge it on the top. And if you go in the FAQs, it's actually said that it's an open source front-end SDK. The FAQs that below the widget. On the first one, what is Wormhole Connect?
Indeed, lots of information, hidden information a little bit. So that's Basket. We covered the whole website, I think. Referral codes is coming soon. It doesn't work. Index platform, which we all asking for it, is coming soon. It doesn't work. Bridge we covered, FAQ we covered, partners we covered, highlights we covered, liquidity pools we did, and why should I buy Basket we also did. We even visited the social media, we dug around, and we also saw the extra links here, bird's eye, and the claiming process that has ended. I think there is not much more to say on what they've deployed. I want a high level overview from each one of you. Like, feel free also to skip if someone else has covered you. What would you like to see here to use this website more? What are the main concerns? What do you think they should change? how should they approach it? A quick overview. Whoever wants to start, please jump ahead.
Yeah, I will go then. If no one else is. I think the main, when we look back at all the feedback, is main issue is the transparency, which is the promise. So we are just giving all the feedback that's missing, but the main thing is, I think this is a nice project. Could be it has the potential if they're transparent. Also with numbers, they show this expertise they're talking about. They're mentioning in the on the platform. That I think it has the potential to get a lot of users because I mean, just portfolio management, copy trading, but without any work. There are many users I think would like this platform, but it has some way to go about transparency and numbers, metrics in general. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Again, with symmetry being around, you gotta lean into what they don't do. And what they don't do is the multi-chain. And if you're not gonna like, the easiest direction is to go into community, right? Have this be community managed, have it be a DAO, things that we've discussed before. If you don't go in that direction, you need to have very prolific people making those decisions. You know, it's like George had mentioned before, you know, who am I giving my money to? Who's managing? Who's making these decisions? So if it's not going to be a community driven thing, you need to have prolific traders at the top. Like, you know, if we found out that this was Ansem, hey, okay, you got a track record, brother. Let's go for it. Like, I think number one is lean into the fact that you're multi-chain, really play with those assets. You know, it's awesome that you're you're using Solana. That's great. You've got all of these different chains that you're playing with. That's a huge competitive edge against anybody else that's in the space. That also speaks to why it might be hard for you to do certain things around transparency and having it obvious, you know, what assets you're holding. The Telegram thing, you know, obviously we're Discord, Twitter people, so that's why we missed it. And, you know, great detective work by Dimitri to find that it was in the Telegram the whole time. Abstract that. Pull it, you know, just post somewhere. Want to see what the thing's doing? Go to Telegram. Like really push people into Telegram if that's the model you're thinking of. Otherwise, yeah, I'd be excited to know like more about the selection process. Either make a community or make the people making the decisions, you know, really prolific.
Baba.
Yeah, just want to add something here. Again, and this is something that's stated in their FAQ that you know the basket assets under management that it could be tracked in the index platform. So, and the index platform is not released yet. So, assuming that the index platform is like the core location that the team wants users to be redirected to, they should make all their supporting pages, you know, achieve that. So if the index platform is the main thing, like your app, and it's going to have, you know, the basket, what it consists, the breakdown, the statistics, the progress over time of either the token or the basket as a whole, they could, you know, center that somewhere or have it on the, again, together with the other main links, center it, and then essentially provide all the other information where you can't find in that index platform effectively and like in a short and concise way. Like for example, yeah, since we're hovering over the FAQ, I don't think it has to be that long in terms of the vertical. You can make that into a table, a lot shorter with all the questions, and it doesn't take so much of the page. The user doesn't have to scroll down, feel like the main page is endless. You know, if a user, I feel, knows exactly what is in the main page, you know, has seen it once and then knows it for the rest of time unless something gets updated because it's just easy, you know, it's a lot better because then you get, you know, you're moving into the key platforms such as the index one that they're releasing. But yeah, I think again with a few modifications, you know, and a few more, you know, the key information to be displayed more effectively, this definitely an application with a potential.
I think that like picking Dean's point and going a little bit further is like bskt.fi's competitive advantage is being multi-chain. The basket that we saw on this stream is like 80%, 90% Solana. And from the other chains that they support, they hold like point something percent of Matic and point something percent on Dodge on Binance Smart Chain. I think that instead of focusing on investing in meme coins on Solana, they should like use their brand identity of being a multi-chain and invest in various different projects in lots of blockchains, and that will truly like solve a problem of the people that want to to invest in different things but can't because they have to set up like 10 different wallets and they don't know the contracts or they don't know the exchanges and the liquidity pools and the dexes and whatsoever. Like I think that it can solve a problem and create a market there, but I think that they are focusing on the wrong things at the moment. Also, one last comment I want to make is that I wish I'd find a lot of answers in the white paper, which was 15 pages long, but I didn't find any regarding transparency, regarding the wallets, regarding the team, regarding how the assets are selected. I think that they can use their white paper in a better way and provide more information. Other than that, I think the design is perfect for the website. It is very like it's a great landing page, I feel like, as a user. But yeah, I think more transparency would be great.
I feel that they have gotten the main pain point, like keeping track of the next in coin is exhausting. And this gets to me and everybody else who doesn't want to go into the trouble of following people or following coins or getting all the wallets set up. This is what I could do in Symmetrify, right? But then I wouldn't know who to follow or which baskets to copy. So they do it for me. Great. Take my money and go. But I read that there are like these guys with 25 years of experience in experienced traders in crypto, asset management, TradeFi, Forex, and equities. But I don't read anything more about them. And then I go on and read into their white paper about the mathematical model for portfolio optimization. That's great. Okay, there is a mathematical model and it's robust, a robust mathematical model. Great. I would like to know more about it. And once all this information is more transparent to the plain user's eye, with more simple words and words that communicate trust, and let me put my money there, then I think it's it has a great value proposition.
I agree with all your points and transparency, and we're not really seeing much. Another thing that I think is missing is the rebalancing. How is it done? What are the intervals? Does it happen daily, weekly, monthly? Is there someone pressing a button? Does it happen programmatically? How do you actually execute it? And I agree with Annie's points a lot on the techniques for managing those portfolio weights. They talk about modern portfolio theory. This is like your first day of investment theory in any economic school. So modern portfolio theory is like the title on the first chapter. So they should get deeper into that. They talk about the barbell strategy. which I don't understand how it is applied in a cross-chain way. I understand how they get exposure to less risky assets via swaps. Just doesn't make sense when you put it in a DeFi sense. They talk about the portfolio optimization mathematical model, which uses historical data to calculate expected returns and finding the efficient frontier for your portfolio. These are all very theoretical models that take into account for the models to work, you need to have wild assumptions. So I'm interested in seeing the assumptions they need to use to apply these models. And yes, generally the dynamic rebalancing mechanism is not convincing as a title if I don't understand how it happens in a programmatic way. As a feature request, I think this is a great effort. This is a great effort of me just buying a coin and getting exposure to a bunch of different tokens, different markets, different blockchains, different everything. Why not make a couple of baskets with some flavor into it? Because looking at the general, what this last tab that was this last portfolio breakdown that was shared, I can see we have a bunch of meme coins, we have a bunch of L1s, we have a bunch of staked L1s, we have a bunch of normal projects, deep in projects. I can see that there is these are coins that you really need to be deep inside the ecosystem to hold. So it shows that whoever is managing this portfolio is really understands the market sentiment, really understands what's popular at the moment, but I don't see much character in this basket. I would like to see a deep in basket and have all the deep in projects across blockchains, all the deep in projects on Ethereum, Binance Chain, Cosmos, Matic, Optimism, all the L2s, Solana, Sui, all the Solana clones. Just give me all the deep in. Give me all the meme coins under $1 million market cap. Like, get me things that I, even as a power user, wouldn't bother gathering. I think that would increase the appeal to the power users, towards the power users. And on the other hand, it would convince the no coiners that, hey, I can apply a little bit of my character into the basket I'm buying. So I think it's really easy to make this great. It just needs a little bit of love and a little bit of segmenting and a little bit more transparency when it comes to information. I hope to see the team work more on it. I hope to see all these features come live and focus a lot on the index page, make it dynamic, make it real time, and allow each user to understand what they are holding, what is the value, and how they can cash it out. That's mostly it from me. Anybody want to add anything before we close? We're just over the 1 hour mark.
I think everything was well said.
Yeah, everything is well said. Thank you, Dean's List citizens. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to check this DApp. It's really a thin line between a DApp and a coin. For the viewers, this is something we do without any bias, and we really hope that projects will listen to our feedback and will improve. This is genuine. This is not paid in any way. So we're going to like some things more than others. And the idea is to bring those that we don't like much into a state which our opinions are going to change, and we'll be able to revisit and see all the amazing features shipped. So again, thank you to the viewers, thank you to the developing team from Basket that is watching this, and thank you to all the Dean's List citizens. Thank you so much, and see you tomorrow on the next Bonanza. Bye-bye.